So neat, neato bandito. And some very, very, very sad news. Um, for those of you who don't read comics or know much about them, um, Jim Shooter, kind of a big freaking deal. Huge deal. Jim Shooter actually started working in comics for DC Comics to be specific, like drawing and writing stories for DC Comics when he was 13 years old. If I remember correctly, I don't think they really knew exactly how old he was. I think he might have lied about his age a little bit. Um, but he was 13 and then started actually working under like in a more involved capacity at 14 years old. This man spent his entire life except for 12 years. Like let's see, he was 73 when he passed. He spent 61 years in the comic book industry. 61 years. Virtually his entire life in comic books. And whether you realize it or not, his influence is everywhere. I have some Jim Shooter work hanging on my wall or things that happened because of Jim Shooter. Robert Liefeld had this to say. He said, Jim Shooter's passed away at the age of 73. Jim is the greatest editor in chief that Marvel had post Stan Lee. Yes, Jim Shooter was editor in chief of Marvel in the 80s. He unlocked greatness of Marvel's Bronze Era, activated Frank Miller, Walt Simonson, John Byrne, Bill Sienkiewicz, and so many others. Took a toy tie-in and made it a blockbuster with Secret Wars. So many achievements. Gratitude for everything. Yes, he started out at DC and he went over to Marvel and became their editor in chief. And that was a big deal. Jim is kind of a love him or hate him type, but you cannot deny his influence. Marvel would not be what it is today without Jim Shooter. There would be no MCU without Jim Shooter. There would be no Venom, Daredevil, Dazzler without Jim Shooter. There would be no Secret Wars. The MCU would have nothing to write about, right? I mean, they were, but um